Last week, some of you will notice that I went a little AWOL. But all will be explained in a moment. However, with us now back on farm, one eye is getting turned towards winter. And we've got some pretty big decisions to make.
Hello everybody, I am back and officially a father of two. My wife and I, and Wilfred, have all introduced a beautiful baby girl into our family. We were having a surprise, we didn't know what we were having. We were pretty convinced we were having another boy though, because pregnancy was exactly the same. If anyone wants to say about the wives' tales, it's a load of rubbish. Pregnancy was the same, sickness was the same, everything was the same, my wife looked the same, complete opposite result. So, you know, wives' tales are just wives' tales after all. But we've called her Florence. She's absolutely stunning. Love her to bits, just besotted by her. But we're back to normal now, so we're back to it, making some videos, and hopefully Florence will make an appearance at some point. We've got to take this turn fur off. We're officially kind of done fertilising now, but I need the tractor because we've got to go and try something out. So I am off to go and visit Mr. Colin Catley because you might remember a few weeks ago I mentioned that he got a feeder wagon that I was kind of interested in to help us get through the winter with the feed shortage. And I'd spoken to Colin and said that we'll come and pick it up and just give it a go round the yard, make sure it goes over the troughs that we want it to go over and all that sort of stuff. But what with Dad's stint in hospital when he got stung with a wasp, me going down with norovirus, which nobody wants to know about, and then having my beautiful baby daughter, we've kind of not got there. So we've been about a month of it hanging around in Colin's yard, and Colin's just been awesome about it, he really has. But I thought I owe him just to go up there now and pick it up and just give it a spin around the yard, see how we're getting on. But it's a beautiful machine, you're going to see it. Here we go. She's in the yard somewhere here at the front, behind some tractors, I've been told. Okay, we're officially away. This machine is a beaut. I will show you back in the yard what it's like. Is honestly mint, considering what it's been doing and its age. It is absolute mint condition. So as my little boy would say, here she is. Look at that, tidy as. This is proper minter. The paintwork is incredible. I haven't got a clue where the plate is. Oh, but I'm pretty sure it's a 2015. Yes, 2015, and it's absolutely mint. I mean, even look at this underneath. Look at that. There's nothing. There's hardly any rust at all, even on that bell there. So it's a Shelbourne Reynolds PowerMix Pro 11. So it's 11 cube in total. I think that's generally like a 10 cube, and then there's that little bit of a greedy board on top. You can just add more on if you want to go bigger. But this is an 11. It has the weigher on the front, which is just a super simple weigher. It plugs in and just runs off of the side lights. So there's no fancy clips in the box or any wiring in to be done. It just runs straight off the light work. It's got an up and down two-way acting spool for the door, which is on the other side, and then PTO shaft straight in. We can swap the door if we want and put it on the back corner on this side, but actually I think it's probably best if we do decide to have it, we'll keep it where it is. And here's the door on here, so it's just a straight up and down door, dead simple, not a lot to it really. Didn't want anything too fancy. And a conveyor belt, as much as they are awesome if you have a new one, when you have a second-hand one, you got problems because they might have been knocked, the belts wear out, the bearings wear out, they cost a lot of money. And these have a fancy belt on the Shelbourne Reynolds, it's called a C belt, and you can control it and move it side to side or whatever else. The belt alone is £4 grand. So if we can get away with not having a belt, that's going to do us good. The lights are LEDs, which is surprising considering its age, but they work perfectly. And then if we go up here, we can have a look. Oh, okay, oh, here we go. So Colin stuck these new blades on. These are heavy duty blades, really the best blades for chopping silage. And it's got a really good quality auger, still plenty of thickness in the steel. And actually all in all, still got paint. I mean, in the corners there, look, there's paint on a thing. 10 years old, still got paint on it. I love the fact that these steps fold up too, because that's just one less problem to have, less backing into things. Although, we have said if we do buy it, we're going to put a camera on because you cannot see where you're reversing these things. And as a new dad, who's probably not going to have much sleep this winter, my reversing skills are probably going to be questionable at best. Well, they already are questionable at best. So they're going to be a lot worse than questionable at best, whatever that is. So having a camera on there will mean that I'm not going to bend this and I'm not going to bend the shed. providing that it all works fine and we actually like it. So we're going to drop a bale in and we're going to see how it goes, because Colin said to us, just give it a go, see what you think, drop a bit of silage in, drop a bit of straw in and see how it mixes up. The flap on the side here is just a basic flap. So it's just a door and it just falls out, and that's just to stop it spitting out and falling anywhere. But Colin put all that back on. That's all like brand new bits on the side, brand new rubber on the front, and it's just on there, up and down. So it's so simple. That's all the hydraulics, all the mechanism to it is just that, and then the gearbox to run the bottom. One thing that this machine doesn't have, however, is it doesn't have a reduced speed gearbox, like a reducer, so it might take a little bit of starting up, which is the reason why I put it on 6410, because the smallest tractor that it will go on is a 6410. So the idea was, if this tractor can handle it, any tractor can handle it. Okay, so I'm going to give this a bit of a whirl and see how we get on. Colin's told me that if we're putting straw in, which we will be, and some silage, and we're going to mix it up, that we should put the straw in first, because apparently if you don't, it sits on top of the silage because the silage is heavier. So I'm going to get a bale of straw, take a bit out, put it in the bottom of there, and then I'm going to get a bale of silage and mix it up and just see what it does. That'll do. Don't need this. Normally, I would probably just use a round bale in this situation, but considering that I actually want a bit of this straw just to chuck in the bed of a few fat cattle that are in the shed, and then we don't want too much in that thick mixer because we're just giving it a test run, I thought I'd just knock one of these square bales out. Colin has told me we want standard 540 PTO. There we go. And then turn it on. A few revs on there. He's also mentioned these things here, like a pin with teeth on. So you plug them in when you've got a bale in, and it stops the bale just going round in the tub and not actually cutting and gripping. So they're like fingers. There's a set there, and then there's another set at the back. So with those in, hopefully, when we put the straw in, we put the silage in, it'll stop it just spinning around and not mixing together. She's going around at a fair lick too. I wasn't expecting it to be going that fast. You can see those fingers sticking out there. Hopefully this will work. Ah, hello, Shelbourne. I've got this bale round the other side ready to drop in the ring feeder when it ran out, but I'm going to take it, strip it off, and I'm going to drop this in and mix it with that straw and see how we get on. I'm not going to put it all in at once though, that's probably a little bit cruel. We'll try and split it in half and see if that'll drop in nicely. I have heard that these tub mixers are the thing for bales. If you're going to feed bales and you're going to feed them through some sort of a feeder, these are way better than the old Keenans with their vertical mixing. Just having that tub makes it better for mixing or something. It just mixes in better, you can drop the bales in, it handles them better. So I'm hoping that with the fact that we don't do clamp silage and I'm a big bale guy, I like bales, that means that this tub mixer should handle what we throw at it. But we'll find out in a minute. I guess now I just, what, do I wait? I don't really know. How long do I wait? It's kind of mixing around. I just stood on the ladder and it was all at one end and then it mixed it all together, and it's now kind of gone from being silage and straw to mixed a bit more. Still needs a bit of chopping though. How long am I supposed to wait? It's been a long time since I used one of these things. We'll give it a few minutes and we'll see. I'm just trying to think about this practically. In the winter, I could put the mix in and then go in bed, leaving it running, and then like do a few bits of bedding, see what, you know, that looks like after 20 minutes, and then come back. Then I could go and feed and put the next mix in and leave that mixing. Is that how it works? I don't know. Obviously, it'll probably be mostly for young stock. Cows will be on bales of straw and dry silage, hay, that kind of thing. They'll just be on straight bales. But for young stock, I suppose there'll be more cereal probably less straw. Maybe 200 kilos or 180 kilos of straw I just put in was a bit much. I don't know. Nutritionist will tell me that. So whilst that has a mix around, I'm just going to tell you why I was so keen to get that thing here and try it out today. Tomorrow, we're going to be PDing our heifers. So we're going to look and see how many of them we got in calf over our bulling period. And then everything that's not in calf or that's already out grazing that's a fattening animal is going to come inside, and we're going to start and finish them. We're going to start and push them a little bit and get them gone, because we haven't got a huge amount of feed over winter, so the faster we can get them off farm, the better for us. We're also looking to wean all the calves, so we've just got cows out grazing and in-calf animals. That means we can extend the grazing period with hay, and we haven't got to house them so early. So it's really a case of housing some stock so that we don't have to house all the stock, and it's a bit of a juggling act really, but it just means that we can feed the right classes of animals the appropriate feed, and it means that if we're going to start and bring in those fat animals to get them finished, this thing is probably going to be the thing we need to get that job done this year. Oh, and whilst I think about it, I'm in all my TorraMórs. This is going into winter 3 of wearing TorraMórs, and they're still completely fine. I got shut down on the other day. I was soaked through, but my TorraMór kept me dry. So this was the wettest thing I've ever seen, but I was bone dry. So if you want a TorraMór, use the code down in the description below and you can get some money off if you buy one. They are worth every penny. Don't buy crappy cloaks, just buy the good stuff. Oh, and whilst I'm in the mood for pointing things out, us guys at the National Beef Association are bringing out a podcast. It is going to be called the Stakeholders Podcast. It is going to be everything to do with beef farming. So we're going to bring you some news, we're going to bring you some massive guests, and our first guest is huge, massive name. We are starting big. And it's going to be hosted by Ben Harmon, our current chairman, Neil Shand, the CEO of the NBA, and yours truly. It's going to be really good. We've gone all out. We have got some great sponsors, and that has meant that we're able to actually buy all of the podcasting gear, whether it's the interfaces and the proper microphones and everything. So the quality is going to be epic. We're going to have a video element to the podcast as well, so you'll be able to watch it on YouTube if you like watching your podcasts, or you'll be able to find it on all your streaming platforms. But honestly, tune in. It's coming at the end of the month, and our first guest is massive. I will reveal more when I'm allowed to. But make sure you check it out. Stakeholders Podcast coming very, very soon. So she's been mixing now for a few minutes. And you can see she's just, I mean, this is quite a, I was just sat on the top, but it's quite a nice little mix. I can't believe how well it's chopped it all up. It smells amazing as well, which is obviously the silage, but so even. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to spew it in a pile and see what it's chopped up like, because it looks pretty impressive to me. And then I'm going to run it around the yard and see whether it goes over some of these troughs. That's also quite a major factor, isn't it? That's half open. Maybe I need to go a bit more than that. It's fully open. Scales are going down nicely. It's quite a dry mix, but it's coming out pretty well. In the future, if I was doing a mix like that, I'd probably stick some water in just to wet her up. It probably would travel a little bit better, but we'll have a look at how it's mixed in a minute. Let's check it out and see what we got. As I mentioned, it was probably a little bit on the dry side, but wow. I think I might be eating my words about this whole tub mixer thing. I've said for a while that I think they're overrated and that you don't need one. Wow. God, look at that. It's so fine. Calves would eat that. Look how small it's chopped everything. And it's mixed it. I mean, you can't see any, there's no lumps. It's very consistent. There's no bits of silage or bits of straw. It's just silage and straw. We'll have a look in the back of her ear as well. We said on the monitor we got about 30 kilos in, which is probably about right, just a bit sat on top of there, which I suppose you're going to get because it's never going to fall off there completely. Probably would if it was a bit heavier. As I mentioned before, the only ever mixer we've had previously was the old Keenan mixer, which is horizontal augered, very different, and it's a very different beast. It just is a completely different concept. This, though, is way more consistent. You would never put bales in our old Keenan mixer. You just wouldn't be able to do it. Clamp silage probably, and they're a lot more expensive, those Keenans too. One thing Colin did say is, whenever you buy one of these, check the thickness of the steel. He has got a tool that you can use that actually will measure the thickness from the inside to the outside. And I think they somehow start at about 10 mil or something like that, and that's got 8 mil left on it. It only worn about 2 mil anyway, which again is testimony to how good nick that thing is. And also to the person who had it before. I don't know who they were, but they have really taken care of this machine. And it's meant that it's still got a lot of life left in it, whereas he said sometimes you'll get these things, they look really good, they look like a bargain, and then when you get the tool out, they've got 1 mil of steel left, and it ends up being a massive job of having to reline the whole thing and whatever else. I do think that machine, if we go for it, is going to have to be a bit of a mindset shift. Winter's going to look very different using that to using anything else. So in this group here, we've got the hopefully in-calf heifers and a heap of fat cattle that were too small at the time we last weighed them to start and feed. So they've gone in here because they've not had any supplementary feed at all. So what the plan is we're going to take them all into the yard, we'll split the fat cattle out from the heifers, we'll PD the heifers, we're going to weigh everything, and we're probably going to keep the fat cattle in for the winter now and push them, because the ones that are out in the field that are being fed are probably fit to go. So it's just a case of hopefully utilising that feeder if we decide to buy it. And if we're lucky, we should have plenty of cattle to finish over the winter, which will be quite nice. Keep that money rolling in. Come on girls, come on, up, up, up. Yeah, good. 10 on the floor. 70. 70, brilliant. Come on, girl, come on out. Come on. Come on. What's your number? This one, Bestie. This is one of the AI cards from when we synchronised.
Yeah, positive.
Good. That's good news. Well, it was worth it then. 500 kilos, you're looking good.
Positive.
Brilliant.
60.
60 days. Good girl. Oh,
Past like
main.
50, 60 days.
It doesn't matter so much when you've got a tight calving pattern, I suppose, because it's going to be fairly tight anyway.
Yeah, positive. 80.
Brilliant. Good girl. Good girl. Go on, go on, go on.
Positive. 100. Positive. Positive.
Come on, girls. Come on. Wow. I feel like, for the first time ever, I think we have got a 100% success rate in the heifers. 100. And it could be put down to so many things. It could be down to the grazing management. It could be down to ensuring we've got the right selection of genetics. It could be making sure that we're not putting anything unsuitable to the bull. It could be anything. But I'm just going to call it a stabilizer effect, because since we brought those things in, the game has changed. For a fair few years now, everything has felt like such a slog. It's felt like there's always been something up against us somewhere down the line. But for the first time ever, I just feel like that is a huge step forward. It's a massive leap. There's been so much going into it behind the scenes, and you guys know that because you see it every week. But to actually have it kind of plain as day, all the changes that you've been making start to come to some sort of fruition is just insane. It feels so good, and I'm trying to enjoy that feeling, even though I know there is so much more to do and so much further to go. But what I'm trying to do in life in general is enjoy the little things, because you forget about the little things in hope that one day you'll get to the big thing. And sometimes those big things, by the time you get there, aren't really worth the wait. So I'm trying to enjoy all the little bits. And that today was just made me feel so good. It has made me feel just like there's a massive accomplishment. But with that, there is some work to still to do, because someone has got to scrape out the parlour. And that someone is me. So, see you on the other side.
Farming comes with its fair share of highs and lows, and you could be forgiven for thinking you spend most of your time swimming upstream. But sometimes, those little wins make you feel on top of the world. And let's be honest, we wouldn't have it any other way. Until next time, Bodie's Farm, over and out.